Hi friends, I'm Sarah, your fellow paper embroidery stitcher behind Flourishing Fibers. Today we are working on the Embroidery as My Therapy project. I don't know about you, but taking the time to focus on a craft and disconnect from screens has been such a wonderful mental break lately. Whether it's paper embroidery, knitting, or even a paint by number kit, finding a creative outlet is so refreshing. If you want to give paper embroidery a try, you could find this pattern in my shop, or you could also sign up for my newsletter to get a free pattern. I'll link everything in the video description, but let's get started. As tempting as it is to tackle the large lettering first, we are going to start with the elements that might snag our thread later on. We'll begin with the words "is my" using a whipped backstitch. First, you'll stitch the outline of the letters using a standard backstitch. Then, with your second working thread, you'll whip that backstitch. Whipped backstitch is a friendly beginner stitch that makes outlines nice and smooth. This pattern doesn't have many French knots, so I'll cover the dot over the eye now before continuing with the rest of the lettering. You'll just wrap your needle with the number of turns indicated in the pattern instructions and go back down that same hole. My biggest tip for this lettering is to complete each section of a letter at a time. Backstitch a line, then whip it right away. If you backstitch the entire word first, you risk snagging your stitches when you come back to whip them. Next, we'll stitch these cute little scissors. The handles are a reverse chain stitch. Start with a short straight stitch as your anchor. Your pattern indicates this with the bold line. You'll come up through the next hole, pass your needle under that straight stitch, and go back down that same hole you just came up from. Then you come up the next hole, pass your needle under that previous chain link, and go back down. Continue in this pattern until you reach the end of the line. For the scissor blades, we're using stem stitch with metallic thread. I always use masking tape to secure the ends of my metallic thread on the back of the panel, which you'll see me do here. Stem stitch is simple. You connect your odd number holes together and your even numbered holes together. It's one of those stitches that is much easier to learn by watching than by me trying to explain, so I hope this video tutorial is helpful in that. Finally, to complete the scissors, you'll add that small French knot for the scissor screw. Check your pattern for the thread count and the turns. Moving to the needle threader, stitch the circle using a whipped backstitch. Once that is done, stitch the center star with straight stitches, again using your masking tape to secure the metallic thread on the back. For the wire part of the threader, I'm using a single strand of DMC diamond. I normally use the metallic thread that comes in a skein, but I love how this looks like a thin piece of wire. The bobbins are so much fun to make. The long top and bottom lines are whipped backstitch and the short sides use straight stitches. When you are stitching the backstitch for the longer lines, go ahead and stitch those short lines too. To create the look of the wrap thread on the bobbin, we use the long detached chain stitches. For those, you come up through one of the side holes and go back down that same hole, leaving a long loop. Then come up the hole directly across from it, pass your needle through the loop and pull your thread to the right length, and go back down that same hole to tack it down. After making 5 of these detached chain stitches, stitch a single long straight stitch across them to finish the bobbin. Stitch 2 of these bobbins this way. The third bobbin with the teal thread is a little different. It won't have that final long stitch across it because the design shows this thread actively being stitched to the lettering. Now for the main lettering for embroidery and in therapy. We are using couching stitch, which means working with 2 needles and 2 threads. The thread that creates the shape of the letters is your outline thread. Your pattern shows exactly where to start and end this outline thread with the holes you pierce using your fine point awl. As always with my lettering patterns, follow the natural flow of the letters when lines overlap. To tack down the outline thread, use 2 strands of thread. Usually I recommend taking your needle down exactly where the shape ends right at the start. However, because these letters are large and very curvy, it's much easier to wait and only take the needle down when you get close to the end of the shape. This makes navigating those tight curves much smoother. Couching stitch is incredibly satisfying because it works up fast and you see the progress right away. But since I'm losing my daylight, I'm going to pause the lettering here and show you the final element, which is the needle. We will outline the needle using a stem stitch and finish it with a single straight stitch inside to create the eye. Just like before, I'm securing my metallic thread ends with masking tape. Before I show you how to assemble the panel, take a look at how this section turned out. You can see how I used the couching stitch right over the bobbin to connect to the design. Now that all the embroidery is finished, it's time to assemble the panel. I like to use foam tape on the back, specifically these cubies from Barely Art. They're the perfect size so you don't have to cut them down, which keeps your scissor blades from getting sticky. And here's a great tip someone shared with me, so I'm going to pass it down. If you press firmly right in the center of the foam tape, it lifts the edge of the backing paper just a little, making it so much easier to peel off. Be generous with the foam tape and place it all around the edges, but just not so close that it will show in the front. We want to prevent any sagging over time. Center the stitch front onto the backer board and press it down securely. Add a cord for hanging and you are completely done. If you want to stitch this project, check out the link in my description, along with links to all of the supplies I used today. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support truly means the world to me, and it helps my channel grow. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep on stitching. Bye.